All right, so Brett, big win over UAB this past week. Got 2 goals early in the first half, but overall, your impressions of the contest?
Yeah, I thought we started pretty fast. Obviously, we had 2 goals in the first 13 minutes, I think, and then maybe got a little bit complacent, and had a spell where I felt like we could have been a little bit better, at least with the ball. And then we're able to score 2 in the second half and, make it a little bit more comfortable. But it was good to get back out there and play again after the disappointment of the Coastal game on the weekend. And I was pleased with the response of the guys to do what they needed to do to win the game. And hopefully now, put ourselves in good position to compete with Georgia Southern tomorrow.
Iris Briggs, another goal, a minute into the contest. Is that one of the quicker goals you've ever seen in a
Yeah,
contest?
yeah, for sure. It may be the quickest I've ever seen, at least at the college level. So it was pretty quick. I think 50 seconds into the game. So certainly changes the game in our favor when that happens because goals, tend to change the game a little bit. So we were certainly, happy for it to work out in our favor.
Logan got on the board for you, his second goal of the year. What was that like? 'Cause Iris is obviously a big scorer for you. He's tops in the nation, everything like that. But what's that? How important is it for you to get other guys
Yeah.
to shoot on the offensive end?
Yeah, Logan has such a great engine. I mean, he just buzzes all around the field. So, to be able to reward him with goals is great. I think he does so many things that, maybe go unnoticed a little bit, but they're incredibly important. So for a player like that, that maybe isn't always in the limelight, but is always doing the dirty work, so to speak, to be able to get a goal and kind of take some recognition, I think is always wonderful. And Logan certainly deserves it. He works as hard as, anyone around. And, I was always pleased when he puts the ball in the back of the net.
And Justin and Jared also scored for you as well. So you're getting it from all angles there. What about Paul Tyson, your goalkeeper? We went to talk to Gunther last week, and he says a very competitive room, a
Yeah.
goalie room or a goalie unit. What about him? You went back to him for some starts, and he's rewarded you with some good effort.
Yeah.
But what goes into that decision as far? Oh, we'll talk about Paul first. But then you have two elite goalkeepers that are playing well for you. How do you make that
Yeah.
decision of who's playing?
Yeah, no, it's tough. I think we've lately just kind of gone back and forth and rotated some games. Some of that's been for, um, just the proximity of the games in between. So a little bit of rest for guys here and there and try and keeping bodies fresh. But, like you said, it's really competitive. So, we try and evaluate them and it's even more than probably, day by day. It's almost activity by activity within the sessions of training. And obviously that goes into the game as well, too. But I mean, in terms of Tice, he's been around for a long time. So I mean, it's kind of old fiddle for him. He knows what it's about. He knows what to expect, and we're not surprised when he goes and plays well. And then conversely, Gus has really taken massive strides since he got to us a couple of years ago, and he's playing really well too. So I think those guys keep pushing each other. I mean, you saw it today in training. In between every activity, Tice and Gunther and Coop. It's fist bump here, great job there. They're really positive with each other, but in the same breath, they're competitive, and that's what you want every position to be too. So, big kudos to them for being good teammates, but also really good competitors.
I was watching the Atlanta United match. Forgot which one. They have a big schedule as well. And they talk about Brad Guzan, who obviously is a national goalkeeper, started for United,
Mhm.
had a very strong career. And they talk about the toughness of goalkeepers and how they have to go up and down in just their drills. And they even joked that one time they got punished in college, and their punishment was doing goalie drills.
Yeah,
And they said never again.
yeah,
But talk about those guys and how tough it is to be a goal. We look at the field players and we see what they
is
do, but what
yeah,
about goalies and just the work that they have to put in just to produce?
yeah. Their training is tough. I mean, it's a lot of quicker repetitions. In terms of sets and a lot of reaction type things, a lot of footwork. Um, so yeah, that just watching a goalkeeper session when it's an intense um, they certainly put in a ton of work and it's showing in the games now. So hopefully that's something that we can continue for the rest of the way. But yeah, no, I mean, as you said on the front of it, we've got a good goalkeeper group and unit, and they continue to demand it from themselves. And because that internal demand and drive is there, then there's really accountability in the whole position. So I think that's something that Tice has really been an incredible example for the younger guys, for Gunther and for Coop. And, the goal is that now they just continue to buy into that mentality. And when the next guy comes in, that will be sort of the standard set forth. So, yeah, those guys work. I mean, there's no question about it. They were out early today, training before the rest of the field players were out there. And, it's something that we're always happy to see, because it kind of sets the tone for everyone else.
And lastly, you have Georgia Southern coming up tomorrow as we're recording this. You saw them earlier in the year, able to get a victory. What can you take from that contest, and what do you have to continue to do well to just stay in your winning ways?
Well, I think it'll be a little bit different, obviously, going down there. The first game was at our place, and tends to the home team has a little bit of an advantage when the two of us play. So we think we're going to really get their best shot. Like you said, we played them before and had good success on the day. I think that will, light a little bit of a fire under them, as well as the rivalry just in general. So I think there's now a few more motivating factors that, maybe work for them that weren't necessarily there on the first time we played. But for us, we'll be nursing some injuries, so I think some different guys are going to have to step up and play well. And we expect to get a really good version of Georgia Southern. So we'll have to be totally focused and ready to play if we were able to come away with anything from the game. And it'll be challenging for us. It's a quick turnaround. We were away on Saturday, we were away on Tuesday, and now we go away again on Friday. So that will be something that we'll have to cope with. But once the game kicks off, there's no really excuses. You just find a way to get the job done.